Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to see how to make a fundamental bead weaving technique which is called as ladder stitch in bead art. So let's get started. Ladder stitch is one of the basic fundamental stitch in bead art, and this creates a neat side by side rows of beads, and this gives the ladder structure. The ladder stitch serves as the essential base for more complex stitch like brick stitch, which we will cover in the next video. But with ladder stitch alone we can make simple jewelry too. We usually make bead art jewelry with seed beads or delica beads, but for easy understanding I'm using pony beads. I made this beaded fringe earring with pony beads for easy understanding. In this, the first 3 rows is made using the ladder stitch with 3 sets of beads. So in this video we will learn how to make a ladder stitch with 1 bead, 2 bead and 3 sets of bead. So in this particular beaded fringe earring I have used 3 sets of bead for the ladder stitch. The ladder stitch doesn't need any stopper bead, so we will directly start our ladder stitch by using 2 beads. We have created a separate playlist for bead art and beaded art jewelry. I have given those links in the description box below, so please check it out. We usually make beaded jewelry by using seed beads or delica beads in size 11 or 10. This is our size 10 seed beads. But for teaching purpose that beads are so small, so I'm using pony beads. So because of that I'm using yarn and tapestry needle instead of nylon thread and a beading needle. We will start the ladder stitch by adding 2 beads to the yarn. And also leave a tail of about 4 to 5 inches at the end. Now our yarn has 2 beads. Now I am going to insert my needle up through the first bead that we have added to the yarn. Now pull the yarn so that the 2 beads sit side by side like this. To avoid confusion, always keep your tail end yarn to the left hand side and the working end yarn with the needle to your right hand side. To proceed further, we need to add beads to the right side of our work. Now our working end yarn is coming from the left bead. In order to make the yarn come from the right bead, we are going to insert the needle down through the right bead so that our working end yarn will come down through the right bead so that we can proceed with adding beads to the right side. Always make sure to maintain a uniform tension throughout your work. As these are the starting beads of our ladder stitch, I am going to go one more loop for extra stability. Now we will add one more bead to the right side of our work. For that we will pass our needle up through the newly added bead. And then pass your needle down through the previously added bead. When you pull your thread, the newly added bead will sit perfectly with the previously added bead, like this. Now in order to bring the working end yarn to the right side of your work, we are going to pass our needle up through the newly added bead once again. Now we can add our next bead. want our bead to sit like this, so I'm going to insert my needle up through the previously added bead, pull it tight, and then down through the newly added bead. Now we will add one more bead. Now pass our needle down through the previously added bead. And then pass our needle up through the newly added bead. Now continue adding beads until you have 10 beads in a row. Once you have 10 beads, I'll let you know how to finish the work. Now we have 10 beads in our row. In order to make the work extra stable, what we can do is we can weave in a zigzag pattern through these beads till we reach this end. Follow the same thread path where the thread has been already passed to avoid any unintentional changes to your work. In order to finish and secure your work, we are going to add 2 knots and then weave in the extra thread through the beads. We will do the same for both the working end yarn and the tail end yarn side. Now I have made a knot, so that I will leave some extra thread and then I will cut this yarn. I will insert my thread to the needle and then finish one more knot and then weave in the extra thread through the beads. This is my second knot. Now cut the excess yarn. Again, in order to secure and finish the tail end yarn, I will insert the tail end yarn to the needle and then put a knot to secure the work and then weave in the extra thread through the beads. Now cut the excess yarn. Now our single bead ladder stitch is finished. Now we can see how to make ladder stitch with 2 sets of beads and 3 sets of beads. Now let's see how to make ladder stitch with 2 sets of beads. The fundamental idea of ladder stitch is same for any sets of beads. Initially for single bead ladder stitch we took 2 beads, whereas for the ladder stitch of 2 sets of beads I am going to take 4 beads this time, and I am going to consider 2 beads as 1 bead. For the ladder stitch we don't use any stopper bead, but we will leave a tail of about 4 to 5 inches. As mentioned earlier, we will be considering 2 beads as 1 bead. We will insert our needle up through the first 2 beads that we have added to the yarn. Pull it tight so that the 2 sets of beads will sit next to each other like this. If you want to make your work sturdy, you can pass your needle once again through the beads to make a loop, or else you can just skip that step and directly pass your needle down through the newly added beads. Now add 2 beads to your working end yarn. We want these beads to sit like this, so we will pass our needle down through the previously added beads. Pull it tight and again up through the newly added beads. Pull it tight, and now you can add next set of beads. Now pass your needle up through the previous set of beads. And then down through the newly added beads. Now continue this process until you reach the desired set of beads in a row. Once you reach the desired set of beads, you can finish and secure your work like how we did with single row of bead. Our ladder stitch with 2 sets of beads is now completed. Now let's see how we can make ladder stitch with 3 sets of beads. Ladder stitch with 3 sets of beads is very simple. Instead of taking 2 or 4 beads, this time we will be taking 6 beads. So we will consider 3 beads as 1 bead and the other 3 bead as another bead. As usual, we will be leaving a tail of about 4 to 5 inches. Now we will insert our needle up through the first 3 sets of beads. Now pass your needle down through the newly added beads. Now add 3 beads to your yarn. Now pass your needle down through the previous set of beads. And again pass your needle up through the newly added beads. Now continue this process until you reach the desired set of beads in a row. Once you reach the desired set of beads, you can finish and secure your work like how we did with single row of bead. video we have learned the basic bead stitch, that is the ladder stitch. We have also learned about how to make a single bead ladder stitch, then ladder stitch with 2 sets of beads and ladder stitch with 3 sets of beads. Hope you all find this video helpful. If you like it, please give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel Infallible Handmaids. And also please leave your doubts and suggestions in the comment box below. Thank you for watching and happy crafting.